wide angle photography hard? It is? Why? Why is it hard? Somebody, anybody, why is it hard? You need too much drink. Why is it hard? The first times I come across that, they will say something like, because it takes too much work. Yeah, it always, everything, macro takes a lot of work too, right? You gotta put the lights like that, do this, do that, right? But now, what I'm gonna do on this particular presentation is give you some tips into what I think, and how I do my stuff. So the one important thing I always do is, I always tell a story. I always think about what is it like to shoot, not for me, but shoot for an audience. Because that's what it's about, right? If you shoot it for you, the pictures will always be in your hard drive. It'll always be in your hard drive. And it'll never come out till 4 years later, like, I shot this, right? But if you shoot it for an audience, you know that you got to work it for the audience. So this is a picture that I shot. It's not a very convenient lens for a lot of people because they don't understand what is it like to shoot in a 8mm format. So it's a globe, yeah? But here, if you understand that the ocean is 70% of water, this is what I present to you. But not only that, if you look at it and you see it, there's a little bit of yin and yang within the picture. So this was a cover on Unterwasser, if I'm not mistaken, for Germany. Yeah. Now, a lot of people also ask me, hey Imran, how do you go to work or how do you like your office? Like this. Take my fins out, but this is not me, this is a friend of mine, Ramon, who takes his fins out, strap on his sea cams and his pressies, walk to the edge of Earth in Bahamas, and take that quick jump into the blue. So again, rule of third, simple things, but always think about what they would say. So when you put your work out there, what will the audience say? So that's what I always try to think about. So is wide angle hard? No. Wide angle is easy if you understand the backstories, if you understand how to work it to your advantage. A lot of people don't have that. What they do is click, 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 click. Yeah? So, this is small ball in the Philippines, sardines, tornadoes running around, murky water. Everybody tells me, oh, water's too dusty, too backscattered, too nothing and everything. I've got only 1 meter of visibility, that's bad. I say 30 centimeters of visibility is still good visibility if you know how to work that visibility. Yeah. So in this shot, a very good friend of mine who owns the resort says to me, hey, you know what, Imran? You take beautiful pictures of chicks with bikinis in the water with fishes and stuff. That's easy. Can you make a guy with a scooter look good? I said, yeah, sure, why not? Yeah. So I arranged in a little bit of a rule of third, coming into me, set up, I didn't set it up, that was setting up already. Yeah, waiting for that precise moment. So wide angle is also about knowing when to click. It's not just clicking, 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 clicking. Yeah? This is the video. I feel like a fish right now. Yeah? So it's all about knowing when to click. So when you know when to click, that moment arrives. So this, with a little bit of a panning, you can see that it's still in motion. So when I do whites, I like that picture to be a little bit more still in motion, because if it's just still, it's freezing the moment, correct? Photography is about freezing the moment, framing the shots. But it needs a little bit of poetry in motion. So get a little bit of sense of motion in your shot. Wide angle gets fucked after that. If anybody ever tells you, no, you don't need lights in the water, Imran, I say, I beg to pardon. Tell that again to me again. I've been doing this for the universities for 28 years. Yeah, so I think I know what I'm doing. So, well, photography is painting with light. So you don't have light, you're going to have problems. But of course, it depends on the depth you're dealing with. If you're shallow, great. You've got lights from above. God's give you the spotlight and it works. But when you're deep, get yourself some decent strobes. Understand the strobes, it will help you. The sensors in your camera can only do so much. So much. But if you give them the juice for it, that means light, they can light it up. Yeah, so in this shot in Gorontalo in Indonesia, one of my favorite places to be, instead of having one diver, I had two divers. So tip, again, when you shoot wide angle, remember, in a frame there's always the foreground, the midground, and the background. And you'll notice throughout some of my pictures, there's always a model being in the midground, because I wanted that. Yeah, if it's just foreground, background, it's still empty, and I feel very sad. And I'll show you a picture of some, which I made some mistakes. Yeah? Schools of fishes. Raja. Raja is a magnificent place to be in. So if you've never done that, those guys over that booth, Amaya, those are very close friends of mine, they take you to some crazy places and they've got good guys to take you out. So this was one of the shots that I had to go down to about 40, and I love it when fishes are in school. That means everybody's in one direction. They don't get confused. Where do we go? What do we do? Huh? Who? Where? What? Yeah? They follow you. Yeah? So when that's in place, remember, fishes, it's always nice when they're looking at you and you shoot them. Yeah? If they are showing their, bombs, that's not going to work. Okay? But get deep, get where the current is, and then go for the shoots. Palau, Jake Seaplane. Yeah? So when I shoot, remember I said about the audience in the start of this talk? When I say audience, that means I'm shooting for magazines. I shoot for a lot of magazines worldwide. So they always tell me, hey Imran, I need this orientation. So for a lot of you guys, you're used to we'll just take it this way and have fun. And click and click and click and click and click and click, right? That's what you do. But for me, I gotta think like, look, I can make about maybe $1,000 if I hit the front cover on a portrait. So I'm gonna shoot a lot of portraits just to get there. Yeah? If I do a 2-page spread, I know that a landscape would work. It's a lot of calculation, it's usually dollars and cents. But in this particular picture, I knew what I wanted. It's history, because Palau, Jake Seaplane, something to do with the war, right? And a diver in hand, that's Haas. And the top part there, I know a title of a magazine can go up there easily. And I know that subtext can be put on the side. And I know that there is a chance of possibility I get paid. So I gotta work because I gotta feed one very good looking girl right there. I mean two. Mother's here, I gotta say something good for the mother too. Yeah? So, next picture. Yeah? Gorontalo. Gorontalo is really, really interesting. If you've never been there, you have to try. Yeah, they've been sponsoring one of our competitions. I think they're one of these guys here. Yeah? And the good part about this place is that you get whale sharks, you get lots of nice, beautiful walls. And the problem with Gorontalo for me, I dove there in 99 and I dove there again in 2014, it's the blue. The deeper you go, the bluer it gets. The more calming it becomes. And then the next thing you know, you're about 45. And then, you push it a little bit more. And then your wife tells you you're dead. Come on. Yeah, so you gotta understand how hypnotizing this ocean can be. So with wide angle photography, it's about just understand colors, positioning, and what's around you. That brings you to see and to observe. To see is what you're doing. Oh, that's a nice picture. I think he's crazy. Yeah? To observe is like, that's a big shark. Where's it coming from? How do we frame the shots? What do we get? Where's the reaction coming from? That's the difference. So that's why when I go to the movies with my families, usually they leave me because I'll be like mid-shot, okay, close up, and now back to extreme close up, and then, hey, where's everybody? Yeah, because I'm working in my head. I'm always looking for that shot. My eyes is a viewfinder. When I look at it, I try to ask myself, let's see what we can do with this shot. So this is in the Bahamas, where my guide, who's always following me around, because I like to walk alone. I mean, spin out alone. Sharks, whatever, I'll deal with it, because I understand the sharks, but my guides just think that I'm suicidal. It's fun. Yeah, because I like too many people in the shot. It's just too crazy. I don't like that chaos. I like chaos, but not those kind of chaos. So this is her turning around and seeing a very big 4-meter tiger shark. Just okay. Should we have Asian buffet or should we have English breakfast? Because she was English and I'm Asian. But trust me, sharks don't like Asian buffet. Our food is not so good. Too spicy. Yeah? Now, while doing white, I also like to show people that there's a possibility to show how the humans and the fishes or the sharks work with each other, right? So what's best to do is a half and half shot. Yeah? A half and half shot shows you what goes up and what goes below. This is in Cendrawasih Bay, yeah, in Indonesia. If you've never been there, try it, it's really good. The guys at Velotions does that a lot, yeah. And this is the part where the bargains, they come in with the fish and they put in a very big net. So sometimes the fish get cramps up, they die. They release a little bit of juice, yeah. Yeah, so what happens is that the sharks goes up and they just start sucking it. Really slow. You know, they go grunt about it, get some food, get out, and then they go around and they come back to their business. So they do that every day, and then the sharks get lazy. Because they're like, yeah, we'll just wait for these guys and they have food. Yeah? Only on weekends and Ramadans they don't have because we eat after 7. Okay? So, next shot. So that is how a shark sucks in the food, that vortex. You see that vortex? The water starts spinning. This part here. A lot of people take sharks, big sharks. Yeah, they show the face and everything else. But let's go deeper. I always say a shot is only a shot when you get really close. Like how close? I don't know. Sometimes you occasionally try to drop a GoPro in there. Like, I know I did. And then it came out the side, it didn't die. There was no harm in the whale sharks. But we got the shots because he went in and out. That's what I wanted. But get close, people. Just because it's a white shot, it don't mean you gotta go so far. Go close. Feel the frame, just like how Macro said, feel the frame. Feel the frame. You'll get scared just a little bit. And then you get brave. And then you get closer. Next thing you know, it's either breakfast or not breakfast. That's it. Yeah? Red and blue. Colors is important to have. I always love this. So when I go down, I always look at the colors. What's prominent, what's not. Red always tells you to stop, right? Traffic light. Only if you're in Indonesia or Malaysia means it's a suggestion. Like maybe it's red, let's go. Yeah? If not, in underwater, those lights, those colors matters a lot. So use that to your advantage. Blue on red, blue on yellow, always beautiful. You have the contrast between that, magic happens. And again, diver in the top. You see that? So foreground, red, stop. Midground, diver shining down. Background is the blue. Yeah? So wide angle is all about having fun. Now, if you did Banda, the crossings, sometimes you get to jump into the water with pilot whales, or whatever they call them. But what I like about this is that this is the only time when I didn't use a lot of lights. Yeah, I didn't use a lot of lights because God has given me light. Yeah, so from in the afternoon lights, I get this nice soft light. Soft lights are very hard to control. Hard light is very easy to control. This is hard light, straight at me, annoying and everything else. Soft light is this guy's up there coming down on me. So soft light wraps around. Okay? But honestly guys, I feel like I'm giving a class in university. You know that, right? Yeah? So hard light, this is not hard light, this is soft light with some nice rays coming down. So all I had to do was dip my dome pots in the water and get the shot. So sometimes about understanding light, situation, and most importantly, have fun with your shots. Don't be so stressful. My God, I gotta get this shot. Imran's gonna murder me. No. I'll just insult you a little bit to make sure you get the shots. Yeah. Ask Patrick, you know. Yeah. Bali is home for me. Bali, Manado is home for me. So if you ever come to Bali, you gotta dive with the right people. And Roy is one of them. This is right there. He's pretending to use his phone and not talk to me. Put your hands up. Yeah. So he brought me to this very nice dive site where there's this little yellow and whatever knots. I always say a fish is a fish. Let's make it look pretty. You know? So this is what happens when I try to do my work. It's never very scientific, but it's very artsy-fartsy. It's always about telling a story. It's always about composition. It's always about lining up stuff. It's always about making you ponder, hey, how does he do that? Right? So this is what photography is to me. Hello? Now, everybody loves the trigger, right? Triggerfish loves us. But if it's the Titan, don't come close. Run. They think you're chicken, not them. Okay? These are the blue, I think they're red tooth trigger, creative trigger. Yeah, is it correct? Yeah, something whatever he said. And this is the difference between when I see things. When I shoot downwards, I know the lights from the top is with me. And with my strobes, I know I can light it up because it's with me, with a dark background. So the colors will pop. Yeah? So this is the time when I say, remember I said observing and seeing? So this is me hanging out at 15 meters looking down while everybody's chasing hammerheads. But I'll show you hammerheads. Yeah? And they're doing all those crazy stuff, running around this corner and that corner, and I'm just like, let's shoot the triggerfish. And the triggerfish were feeding, so there were so many of them. So it's really cool. Yeah? So me shooting downwards, working with my light. Now, if I switch the situation, if I shoot upwards, I get the blacks. But then everybody asked me and said, hey, why did you want to shoot that? Because the idea was, I wanted to do this in black and white. So I get all the shots. So I get more contrast, more this, more that. So you see, my wide angle is always about planning. It's always about understanding how to shoot better. And again, more nice guys with no bikinis on in ambient light. If you find a hole, stick it in there and light it up like it's Christmas. If you know what I mean, boys. Yeah? So light it up, put somebody in there and make sure you get what you want. So I like to get everything compressed. I like to light it up, I like to have textures, and I always make sure, for sure, yeah, there's always a diver in there. Yeah? So again, this is Willie from Amaya. When he was diving with me, he said to me, boss, you think you can make me look good? I love it when they tell me this stuff. And I said, yeah, I can. So my work, a lot of people say, hey, Imran, you're famous. I'm never famous. I am good at what I'm doing because of all these guides. All these guides, all these people who supports me, from the dive centers to the owners and everything else. Because of them, for giving me the opportunity to work with some of the best guides in the water, I'm able to do what I do. Yeah, so this is a very simple shot. Him hanging in the blue, lights up the fan, get him in pictures, signature shots. Very old shot, Lombok, shallow water, a lot of sea urchins, bait fish, lights coming in, rule of third, soft lights on the thing, soft lights on the fish, just like that. So wide angle also is about controlling light. You can control the light, you can do anything. That's the beauty of it. A lot of people fail to do that because they use light as a documentation. We'll just light it up. We don't have to think about how hard it is, just light it up. Don't. Think of it of storytelling. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and this. Ta-da, how you like me now? This is what you gotta do. You gotta think that. Okay? Mantas. Everybody loves a manta, right? This is one of the mistakes I made. I should have made somebody be right about here. Then I get my foreground, midground, my background. Right about now, all I have is the manta. No story. Yeah? Now, change your views and location. It's about perspective. Everybody said, Imran, you shoot the ocean. Okay, we'll change. We'll just shoot fresh water, bathe water, whatever water, a pond, a puddle of water if I could. So we'll try this one. This is Uluna in Sulawesi. When I jump into this place, thanks to Roy who showed me, he hid this place 2 years away from me. I had to beg and find all these places to shoot this. And then when I found it, I shot it, I came out, I put it out online. Everybody's like, hey Imran, are you in Mexico right now? In the cenotes? No, I'm in the cenotes of Sulawesi. And I brought some people in here to enjoy this very small, beautiful water catchment and take beautiful shots of freshwater places. Yeah? Well, if they say it was not good in the day, let's do it in the night. Yeah? I've always had this fantasy of shooting wide angle in the night because everybody says it's not possible. You need this, 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 this. But remember this, you control the light, you control the situation. You can do anything. Yeah, so this is shot in the night. My wife is not here. This is another chick that I work with that looks like my wife. Oh my daughter's here. Look at your mother. Yeah, and this is just to show you that how submerged woods, tree trunks looks good in the water. Yeah? And if you have a chance to work in waters that's mixed between salt and fresh and tanning of the plants, you get this. And the right time of the day, in the afternoon, when it's nice and bright, you get these very beautiful golden colors. Yeah? If you like shiitake mushroom, welcome to the world of shiitake mushroom. Yeah? So you see, when I shoot, I get hungry. And when I get hungry, I think like, yeah, this looks like something I would do. Yeah? So my work is always inspired by either television, lots of cartoons, and other people's work also. Yeah? Now, here's action again coming in. You see how I can get sharks, but I always see sharks as, well, they're alone, they're always just doing that, they're like sharks. But I want sharks to be in action. And when I take the picture, it is still in action. Yeah? This is the Bahamas, just before you get into the water. I brought some Malaysian friends into the Bahamas with me and I said, give me your passports. We'll just shuffle and see who goes in first. And obviously, hey bro, don't now, bro, please, bro, I got family, kids and everything like that. I said, look man, it's opportunity, it's only rocks on those ones. Either you jump and get the shot, or get out. You choose. Yeah? Anybody a fan of SpongeBob? Okay, one. My daughter is two, right? You better say yeah. Yeah? Squidward's house? Looks like Squidward's house? Yeah? Giving you a wink? Yeah? So, again, cartoon oriented. Welcome to Japan. The last 2-3 years, I had a very nice invitation from a good friend. He said, hey, you gotta come to this place, Imran, because it's different. I said, why? Water's cold, and if you come at the right time, there's always good food, and the people are nice, and it's only an hour away. And I said, okay, let's go. And we went to Japan. And then we had this. And this. Yeah? And we had this. So if you want to dive with some sharks, I think it's the hound shark, am I correct? Yeah? Hound sharks, those guys, they do the packages there, so we'll talk to them too also, yeah? So you go in here, as soon as you get to the dive site, go down 20 meters, voila, 100 sharks waiting for you. But they won't eat Asian people, trust me. I've done it, I'm still here. Yeah? There will be so many sharks, so many rays, you will be so confused. And then they have this shark tornado that comes up like that. And all you do is like, oh, wow. Next thing you know, you're frozen because when I was there, it was winter. It was 9 degrees. Yeah, wrong time for me. But great time for everybody else because they had a dry suit. I had a wet suit. Yeah, tall people, you never have sizes. Yeah? And look at the birds. They're in the water too. So he dives in and I think he's pumping the brakes. Like, wait a minute, who's this guy? Yeah? So there's a lot of excitement. At 20 meters the sharks, at 5 meters all the birds. So now you're getting confused. Yeah? So you have to understand the fun that you go when you change locations and perspective. Yeah? So more sharks coming down the line. You see that line? You coming down that line and all these guys just like, hello, how are you? Konnichiwa. Yeah? And here's one of them getting a piece of bait from us. It was like, yeah, we'll give it to you. You hang around long enough, you'll probably run out of breath. Yeah? And you can see all the rays, all the sharks just waiting for you. Easy dive, very good. Good for open waters, it's not so deep. But most importantly, if you're a photographer, excellent. Beautiful. But this is something that I want to tell everybody here. You see a lot of sharks in my pictures. It's beautiful, right? It's really fun to look at, right? But remember this, if you jump into the water and you don't see one single shark, or you just see one shark running around, you better hope that's not the last one. Because when that's the last one, everything crashes. They're the top apex predator. You gotta learn how to protect them because sharks are beautiful. And I'm telling you right now, if I see a place where there's no sharks, I get really, really sad. And I head straight to the market to see what's been fished out. And then start talking to people and educate them about the importance of the sharks in our society. Alright? My wife, I have to make it very clear because she's back. Yeah? And this is in the Bahamas also, just to try to show size when we do wide angles. Yeah, the size between not her, but the size of the boat against her. We're stayed right. Yeah. Don't want to sleep in the garage. Yeah. Turtles, everything coming in and out. Yeah. And of course, when you go to work, you have to work with the best cameras. So I represent C-Cam. So get a C-Cam. Yeah. So this is a mistake that I make in the Bahamas. Remember I said about positioning? Remember I said about landscape and all that stuff? Yeah? So when you shoot landscape, you see how it's all chaos here with the rack? Right? All chaos because the models are at the wrong place. But let me show you when I switch it to a portrait. You see how it works now? It's in the frame. So orientations, it's not everything like this. Sometimes it's like this. Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's like this. Sometimes it's like that. Change your perspective, change the way you shoot, they will change the view of the audience that sees it. No sharks in the night, still trying to get more sharks in the night, yeah? As you can see, all that little tiny buttons, all those little pimples, he's got more pimples than I do, yeah? And then we got the Maori groupers staring back at you. These guys are huge, man, and they're really fast because we're feeding the sharks, and the Maoris is like, yeah, make a mistake, I'll take your arm too. Big guys, as big as me, coming in. So everybody's like, well, we'll hang back, but obviously it's me. I go like, what's it? What's he doing? What's he doing? Very cool. Yeah? So coming up, I always ask my diver, who wants to go out first? The boat's not here, but you can hang out with this guy. Say, tak apa lah Imran, kau naik dulu lah. Kalau mati aku dah anak bini, babe. Yeah, so this is chaos, this is Ramon and me. When the nurse sharks are very irritating, they tip the box. Yeah, they try to tip the box and all the bait goes crazy. So you got tigers, you got bulls, you got hammerheads, you got nurse sharks, and three crazy photographers in one place. So that's pretty much mayhem. Yeah, so, but you see, all this sand, backscatter, beautiful. I love backscatter because if you know how to work the backscatter, it's magic. So use it to your advantage. But you know what? Nature always listens. This is three very big tiger sharks. Like, apa dia cakap ni? Huh? Dia nak gimana? Yeah. So I always like to take sharks when they are like reacting, or sometimes I try to poke them a little bit. Like, are you okay? Yeah. So this is me right next to them, and they were looking at the guy who's chumming the water with the sharks, with the fish. Like, mau makan tak? Mau makan tak? And the shark's like, ini biar betul ni. Kau gigit nanti kan? Yeah? The great hammerheads, everybody. 4 meter, 4.5, huge. Like a bull comes to you, all ripped. Like a, you know, he looks like a real bodybuilder. When he turns, when he flexes, you see all that muscles. You'd be like, and he turns really fast. This is how I know, because I was shooting it, it came this way. And then as I turned, I saw his head was already here, and his tail is still there. And that's how fast and how flexible they are. Yeah? But go closer. I want more. Go closer so you can get teeth. I have a shot really close, but I didn't put it in here. It's just teeth. So you know how close I am. So instead of using the 16, I use 15mm lenses. Go close. Just like how you take a portrait of a model, go close. Yeah? Close. Tiger shark. You want pimples? I got pimples. Yeah? I got little scars and this and that. But it's lovely, isn't it? Because you get really close to the sharks. A lot of people go so far, it's a tiger shark, but 2 miles away. I don't like that. I like to get close. I like to get personal. Sometimes I get into trouble with the sharks, but it's okay. Larique, so if you're in Larique, this is the place in Ambon. You can dive with the Laha dive packers, the guy right over there. Yeah, they take you to a village with lots of moorings, or what do you call this, eels. Yeah. And it's just surface. You can just put your camera in there and shoot your live out. Yeah, but this is in portrait. But when you put it on speed, the motion comes back. I mean, it's still alive, it's still in action. So wide angle, ladies and gentlemen, is about controlling all these variables to your advantage. Superan, everybody loves a turtle, right? Me too. This was from my first book about 20 years ago maybe. Yeah, I still use it because I love it.